When you speak, it's actually me.
I think you've confused me with another skinny chicken. I think you've confused me with another skinny chicken. What is happening?
I know it's a lot to take in.
This is kind of stemming from a book that you wrote. How complete
Yeah.
was the Archibald world when you imagined it?
It went many, many different directions after the book. We started with Archibald and his siblings, and then his companion B. And then I think there was one other character, Calhoun, who's still in the show. But after that, there's probably maybe like 100 something new characters that kind of branch out. There's like Dr. Fluffberg, who's played by Chris Parnell, who's like Crackridge's local doctor who loves jazz music. And then there's Officer Jones by Gary Cole, and he's like an officer who's like always 3 days away from retirement, and he loves food. But it's just like all these like random characters have branched out, and it's become this world that I'm just crazy about.
Do you have like a character book that you can like flip through and look, like a yearbook?
Yeah, which really helps the writing, because when the writers get all together, we kind of pitch ideas, we kind of look at the characters and kind of see what kind of different storylines, because that's what's kind of cool is Archibald, his attitude alone is just something that I wish I could be more like. He's pretty much my role model, that he just kind of sees the best in everyone, the best in every situation, or at least tries to. And so he meets all these different characters in the world, and then all of these crazy adventures come out, and it's always his attitude and his kind of wide-eyedness that just carries the story always.
How much of Archibald is you, and then what aspects do you wish you had?
For me, I think a lot of this came out of, I've had a history of struggling with anxiety, and I was finding myself never really present in my life. And that kind of caused a lot of anxiety, where I was either somewhere else, I was in like a what if narrative, or I was just checked out. And Archibald is incredibly just open. He kind of sees everything like it's a big thing. He's just open to whatever comes his way. And so I think it became this, and I think working on with him so much, he really has become, so many of his traits is something I aspire to be. I mean, he's definitely got a lot of quirk that I love to play. I remember like Gary on Veep. He was never allowed to speak. Selena never let him speak. He would always have these random noises, these like guttural noises. He'd be like, And I feel like Archibald does that a lot. Archibald's like, yeah, okay, yeah, And so I love that kind of stuff.
Come on, B. I gotta sing about something.
Everything sounds better in a song.
I really love Archibald's sweater in the show.
Isn't it
and I
great?
love like texture on it.
Yes. When we were doing the book years ago, we really liked the idea of kind of 2D with texture. And Archibald has his sweater. Loy has her socks, which are kind of textured. Finley's kind of got his vest. Sage has a hat. And I like the idea of each character having these kind of strong textures, and just this whole wool cable knit sweater with just blue slacks. I just thought was just so fun with his sweet like yellow pinhead. Because I was also a huge fan of Beaker on the Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved that he never said anything, but would just stand in the back and just go beep, 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 beep. And I just thought he was great. And also my favorite color is yellow. So I had met years ago, I had met Victor Huckabee, who created the character Archibald at this art show in LA. And I had seen Archibald. And at that time, I believe the sweater was already kind of a part of his design. And I just fell in love with him. And then I asked him, we kind of became friends. And I asked if they would want to do a children's book together.
Ooh, a smoothie.
Archibald, that's not a smoothie. It's a milkshake.
What have you learned about creation of children's entertainment? Like the idea that you have to have kind of 2 little vignettes versus like longer stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely because like our episodes are 11 minutes each, so you have to really put a lot into those 11 minutes for story. But I think what I appreciate the most about children's animation is it's all about simple truths, and as simple as like, hey, let's just be kind to our neighbor. Let's not put a stereotype on somebody without getting to know them first. Just these kind of simple truths that you can and then you have those simple truths, and then you kind of bring my own kind of comic style into it, and the writers can bring their own quirks into it. Kids animation is foundationally, it's a very powerful medium because it's something that kids are watching a lot of, and it can be a resource that can be used for a lot of good. Media in general is very, very, very powerful. And it does, I mean, I'm the kind of person that I don't understand why people go see very scary things, because I just feel like there's enough fear in society. I don't know why we're all watching movies about a virus spreading. Like that's happening, guys. Why are we dumping on that pile? I'm that guy that's watching like a dog running around in a circle after a carrot or something, or soldiers coming home videos on loop. I love that stuff. There's this one site called Woof Woof or something, and it's like all these little animals doing stuff. And there's this one video of this dog running in circles, and then he comes to the camera and he just goes, and he's just like, his eyes. I must have watched that 50 times. It made me laugh so hard. Just this dog was so intense. And then have you seen the one about the dog behind the couple is the couple is eating popcorn? And the dog's behind the curtain, and the minute he hears the popcorn, he just pops his head out to get popcorn. Oh my gosh, I watch that over and over. But I think for our show, putting something out there, especially kind of what I said before, especially during this time, I think it's just Archibald's perspective on situations. Many times, obviously, look at what's happening now. We can't control what's happening. We can't control our circumstances. But we can try to control our attitude towards those circumstances. And that is one thing that Archibald just does in spades to me. Like, many things happen to him, and life does not go the way he thought it was going to go. And everybody else might be getting frustrated. And yes, it's okay to be frustrated. And he does get, I'm sure now and then he gets frustrated, but for the most part, he's like, all right, well, this happened. Let's go with it. And let's try to make the best out of it. So I kind of love putting that out there, especially now.
And the chicken wins!
Ah, the chicken won.
You're the chicken, Archibald.
I am?
I am! Ah, I won! I won!
Kudos to you, Doze.
Thank you, Doze.
It's not edible.
Uh-huh.